Okay, so we're gonna start seated, simple cross-leg position. We're gonna take our right shin in front, and I'm sitting up on a blanket here, just giving myself a little height. Extra nice on a cold morning, just because it gives you a little more release in your pelvic girdle. If you tend to be a little tighter in the hips, it's also gonna make sitting here a little easier. Not necessary, but a nice little trick. You could also sit up on a block. And before we get going here, let's just go ahead and do some shoulder shrugs. So take a nice deep inhale, tense all the muscles, shoulders up towards the ears, and then let it go and feel that sense of relaxation. Inhale, squeeze, 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 and let it go. Couple more. Let it go. And then we're just going to take our hands on our thighs, or fingertips could be by the side if that feels a little better. Just feel this sense of relaxation in your shoulders. Close the eyes if they're not already. And just start to drop into this quiet space. Start to pay attention to your breath. So a nice deep inhale through your nose. Full complete exhale through your nose. You're creating that soft rush of air in the back of your throat. Sounds like ocean waves rolling in and out. And then all of the noise happening around you just drifts into the background. See if you can do the same with all of the chatter happening inside the head. That's a little trickier, I think. Maybe you can get just like these brief little pockets of stillness and quiet, and we work to string more of those together. Observe if any tension has crept into your body. Maybe you're just feeling pretty easy here, connecting with the breath. So both possibilities. So definitely softening, even though there is little effort to sit in this pose. Good, blink your eyes open. Let's inhale, stretch your arms out wide. So wrists are in line with the shoulders. Take a nice deep inhale here. Welcome, Susie. As you exhale, just simple, gentle twist. Doesn't have to be very far. So off to the right, inhale back to center. And then as we exhale, gentle twist to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Good. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the left. And then we're going to inhale, come back to center. Make sure that those shoulders are still stacking over your sit bones. So sometimes we can start to overarch here in the lumbar. Keep the spine nice and long. Stretch the arms up overhead. And let's just keep the shoulders, or the arms a little wider than shoulders, just apart to start. And this can be pretty intense. See if you can get that inner arm to roll back towards your outer arm. You can even flex the fingers a little bit. Just imagine that you're doing a downward dog here. Nice work. All right, and then we're going to start to bring the palms together, interlace fingers, and then press palms up towards ceiling. You might have a pretty big bend in your elbows, especially if you're feeling tight in the back of the neck, tight across the shoulders. Keep that feeling of inner arm wrapping towards your outer arm. Breath smooth and steady. Okay, so we're going to start to bend the elbows. Palms are going to face towards the back of your head. You can kind of even cradle there a little bit. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, drop right elbow to the right. Might not go very far. Inhale to center. Good. Exhale, drop to the left. Shoulder blades release down. Inhale to center. Exhale, drop right. Good, and then let's go ahead, release arms, press down into that right palm, really stretch left arm up and over. Inhale, switch sides. Exhale, right arm comes up and over. Little lateral stretch, inhale up. Exhale, reach left, and then let's just hold here. anchor down into your left sit bone a little more. Just imagine that somebody is pressing there, so helping you to ground down. Spin the pinky side of that left hand down. Feel your shoulder blades stack on top of each other. Start to spin your right ribs up any amount. Good, and then just bring your gaze down. You're gonna bring your left hand to that right knee, the outside of the thigh. Just inhale, start to upright yourself. So twisting the other direction with a little kind of like half wrap here, moving in that direction. This time, left rib spin up. Maybe you're looking up underneath that top arm. Good, and then let's release. So bring your gaze down to left knee, right hand comes to that left thigh. Inhale, upright yourself. So funky little cat-cow here. As you exhale, round in. Really try to let the back of the neck release. It's gonna take a few rounds to find that inhaling, arching. Good, exhaling, rounding in. Let's inhale, arch, stretch the arms out and up. And then as you exhale, hinge forward. So nice little forward fold. It need not be very deep. So you can even have fingertips on the blocks. You could be pretty upright. If you are a little more open naturally in your hips, you might stretch forward a little further. You could even rest your head on a block. And you should be feeling a nice little stretch in that outer right hip, so that shin that is crossed in front. Breath smooth and steady. If you've lost it, you find it again. So that inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. Looking good. And then let's just find a little twist here. So again, you can be pretty upright, but we're going to start to walk our hands off to the right, so that towards the direction of the knee, the shin that's crossed in front. And then find a little bit of the twist again. So now we're wrapping these left ribs towards this right thigh. Might feel a little stretch down in that lower left back area that feels kind of nice. Good, walk back to center. Slowly roll up on your inhale. Good, extend your legs to straight. Give them a little shake. And then we recross with the left shin in front. So again, trying to cross in the center, that's not gonna be an exact science. So kind of just depending upon how you're built, you might be a little wider, especially if you're tighter, that's fine. And then right away too, just check in, kind of notice, does this side feel any different at all? So often there's one side that feels quite a bit easier. And then hands, any place that feels comfortable, close your eyes. Take just a couple moments to really connect with that breath again. Maybe wondering, is Jana gonna remember how to do that entire sequence to this side? I'm not sure that I will. We'll see what happens. Again, really let those shoulder blades start to release down your back. Observe if you're puffing those front ribs out. So again, you're just sitting nice and tall. There's this sense of space and length. There's some effort, but there's also some ease. Good, blink your eyes open. As you inhale, stretch the arms out wide. So muscle is firming towards the bone. Doesn't have to be a very big twist here. Nice deep inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Just start to bring right ribs to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, twisting to the right. Yeah, Friday, get in on it. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the left, and let's hold here, and let's go a little deeper this time. So perhaps you can bring your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Release your left fingertips down behind you. You could also have right hand on right thigh if you're feeling a little tighter. Gently start to press the shoulder heads back. Gaze just soft and gentle out in front of you. If it feels okay in your neck, maybe you start to gaze out over your left shoulder. Beautiful. These look good. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, unwind, come back to center. Inhale, stretch your arms out. And then as you exhale, you start to twist to the right. Good. Hold here for a breath or two. And then move deeper into the twist. So left hand to the outside of your right thigh. Fingertips can come behind you. Shoulder heads are pressing back. Spine is nice and long. And you really use that inhale to help you find the length in the spine. And then notice too, as you exhale, as you empty out, maybe you can twist in like a micromillimeter more. Maybe you can't, but you kind of feel a little more space. And then perhaps you're bringing your gaze out over that right shoulder or moving in that direction. Good. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, empty out. And then inhale, we come to center. Stretch arms out and up. So a little wider than shoulders distance apart. Really firm the arms. Pretend that somebody is pulling up on your wrist so you're getting a little longer. Hold on to all of that. Palms come together. Interlace the way that feels funny, so you might have to try it out. If you do the same side, the world's going to keep spinning. We'll probably still have a snowstorm, so it's no big deal. Press the palms up towards the ceiling. Feel the inner arm wrap towards the outer arm. As that happens, you start to get a little more widening across the backs of your shoulders. Good, and let's add on here this time. So nice deep inhale. Exhale, gentle twist to the left. You're not going to go super far with the arms like this. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Good. Inhale, come to center. Let's do that one more to each side. Exhale, left. Inhale to center. And then exhale, twist right. Inhale to center. Start to bend the elbows so you can kind of just cradle the back of your head with your palms. Nice deep inhale. Stretch the elbows out. Exhale. Release left elbow down. Inhale to center. Exhale. Release right down. So just kind of getting into the back of the neck, the shoulders, scapula. Inhale to center. Exhale left. Inhale center. Good. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. And then exhale, drop to the left. Root down into that left palm. Good. That right arm is stretching up and over. As we inhale, right palm presses. Exhale, left arm stretches. A couple of these side to side. Inhale, press. Exhale, lengthen. Good. Off to the right, just finding a nice little flow, kind of waking everything up. And then this time we come into the hold here. So getting lots of space, lots of stretch on that right side, kind of finding that reverse warrior feeling. As you do that, you anchor into the right sit bone, you spin your left ribs up towards the ceiling, spin the pinky side of that right hand down. Good, and then just look towards your left knee. Bring your right hand there. Upright yourself. Stretch your left arm up and over. Notice if shoulders are creeping up towards ears, still soften them down. And then look down towards that right knee. Left hand comes there. Inhale, you come forward. Find a little cow stretch. As you exhale, round in. Inhale, forward. Good. As you exhale, release in. Chin towards chest. Really let the back of the neck go. Inhale up here. Good. And then exhale, upright yourself. Inhale, stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hinge forward. So nice little forward fold. You're going to feel a stretch in that outer left hip. It might not be big. For some of us, it might be pretty intense. And again, more important to keep your spine long. Doesn't really matter how deep you go here. So hands can be on blocks. You can be on fingertips. If you are a little more just naturally flexible in your hips, perhaps you're resting your head on a block. You can make fists with your hands, stack them together. Listen to that sound of your breath. Find it again if you've lost it at all. That nice smooth inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. And then we find our twist here. So we start to walk our hands off to the left. We can keep the arms about shoulders distance apart. And you can even think downward facing dog hands here. If your palms are pressing on the floor or on blocks, if you're just on fingertips, that's fine, be there. Start to spin those right ribs towards that left thigh, any amount. Tiny little twist. We got a crew at yoga today. We got the cats, we got the dogs, the babies, the Brazilian sand, the snow coming. All right, start to walk back to center on your inhale. Beautiful work. As you inhale, slowly roll on up. Ooh, take a nice deep inhale. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. And then go ahead and just flip onto your tabletop. So landing with your shoulders over your wrists. If you're feeling a little tightness in your shoulders still, or if you just naturally tend to be tighter there, a little bulkier, spin your hands out slightly. That'll give you a little more space. Knees are underneath your hips. And let's come into our full cat-cow here. Inhaling, arching into your lumbar. And we've warmed up a lot already, so this should feel pretty good. As you exhale, vigorously press the mat away. Maybe be even firm more into your shins than you normally do to help that the back of the neck lengthen. And then just continuing like this at your pace. You're not too slow, you're not too fast, you're just right. Enjoying how it feels to connect the movement with the breath. And this is really simple, but it has this nice calming quality. We start to find this rhythm in our body. Good, couple more rounds, these look great. All right, so next inhale, come back to a neutral spine. And we're just gonna move into some bird dog. So start to stabilize the core a little bit, find a little more length in the body. So keep your gaze an inch or two in front of your fingertips. And just really make sure that you're firming down into all 10 knuckles. You can feel those inner arms again start to wrap towards the outer arms. That gaze slightly forward with your lower belly pulling in and up ever so gently as you inhale. Stretch right leg, left arm up off the mat. Good, keep those toes pointing down. Exhale, release. Inhale, left leg, right arm. See how long you can get. Beautiful. As you exhale, release down. Good, inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale, release. Inhale, left leg, right arm. Exhale, release down. So this time we come to the hold on this side. So inhaling, right leg, left arm stretches forward. Really activate that right thigh. So the top of the thigh is pressing up towards the ceiling. Notice if you're opening up that hip at all, just wrap it down so both hips even, and you can feel the outer hips squeeze in towards each other. Have you lost the breath? This is definitely a little bit of a balance pose. So sometimes we start to grip and hold on. Good, deep inhale. Exhale, release that side down. Inhale, left leg, right arm. So that leg is so active, inner thighs, spiral up, outer hips squeeze in towards each other. Lengthen through the sides of your waist. And as you're doing all that, you're still feeling your shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other. These look beautiful. Deep inhale. Exhale, release down. Walk your hands forward a couple of inches, giving yourself a little space for downward facing dog. So you're gonna curl toes under. Let's keep a little bend in the knees here. And then just press right heel back. Inhale to tippy toes. Exhale, press left heel back, and then just continue like that. So just bicycling the legs out. Few times each side. Depending upon where you're at so far this morning, maybe you start to lose a little bit of that bend in the knees. Maybe you take a little more. All right, so the next time you've finished the left side and you're back on tippy toes, stay there for a breath or two. Peek between your hands, make sure that they're shoulders distance apart. And then peek between your feet. So this is a good place for the head to be. The ears are in line with the biceps, and you're just noticing that your feet are about hip distance apart. And we start to melt the heels back any amount, the legs straighten any amount. A little bend is always fine. Couple of breaths here. And then nice and easy, we're going to start to walk the hands back to meet the feet. Good. So feel the arches engage. You're pressing into the four corners of the feet. Again, a nice little bend in the knees here is particularly nice on this first deep forward fold. This is a big, big stretch in the back of the legs and the spine. Let's just move into our Ardha Uttanasana, our standing cobra. So as you inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Fingertips can be on the floor, hands on shins or thighs. They're all good. As you exhale, you fold in. Inhale, stretch forward. Are you gripping your toes? Soften them, spread them, release them down. Exhale, release in. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Nice. Beautiful. As you exhale, you fold. Good. Keep that bend in your knees. Slowly, as you inhale, start to roll up to standing. And when you get there, let's roll our shoulders back. Few times. Start to roll the shoulders forward. Good, roll them back again. And then let's inhale, stretch our right arm up. So palm is facing inward. Use your left hand to help wrap that arm inward. So we're going for internal rotation. We're gonna try to hold on to that as we bend the elbow. Okay, and then you can just start to press your left hand to the top of that right elbow, and you can kind of gauge it. So more obviously, you're gonna feel a more intense stretch. Kind of nice little stretch on the tricep. Still standing nice and tall here. Legs are active, your tailbone is releasing down. So we can start to overarch in the lumbar here, puff the ribs forward. So just notice if that's happening in your body. Find that lengthening. Good, let's inhale, release. So just kind of take the arms at a diagonal, nice deep inhale. Exhale, release arms by your side. And then let's inhale, stretch this left arm up. Good, so your palm is facing in towards your face. Use that right hand to help you twist, find that internal rotation a little more. Bend the elbow, reach the fingertips down your back. And then right hand to the top of that left elbow, just applying a little gentle pressure. You might not need any pressure at all. How does this side feel different in your body? So this is one of the great gifts of our yoga practice. We really pay attention to this physical shape, what's going on. We notice things, we get curious, and we can start to make little changes so that potentially we can start to feel a little better if there are spots that aren't working so well. Good. Couple more breaths here. All right, as we inhale, arms come at that diagonal. And then exhale, release down by your side. So just starting to flow a little more as you inhale, arms reach out and up. Let it feel good. You can always reach forward and up too. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in again. Maybe with that bend in your knees, let the back of your neck lengthen and release. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Beautiful. As you exhale, you fold in. Pressing into your feet, stretching arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhaling, reaching Ardha Surya Namaskar, half sun salute. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, lengthen forward. Good, exhale, fold. Inhaling, pressing into your feet, stretching arms out and up. Exhale, hands come together at your heart. You have two more. I'm not going to cue you. You're going to move with your breath, maybe closing your eyes. Let these feel so good. And when you're done with that second round, palms come together at your heart, just taking a couple breaths here. Noticing the heat that you're starting to build in your body. Maybe even noticing if the heart's beating a little faster, maybe the breath is speeding up a bit. Just observing the change is happening. Good. And then just open your eyes, release your hands down. So we're at the back of our mat here. As you inhale, arms reach out and up. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Good, inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. So you keep the weight in your heels as long as you can. Let's lead with our right hand. Start to walk forward into our downward facing dog. Good, couple breaths here. Make any little adjustments that you need. Start to firm the forearms in towards each other a little more. That's gonna activate the upper arms. As we inhale, we're gonna lift our right leg. Keep the hips even, that feeling that we had in that extended, that bird dog on our tabletop. Good, as you exhale, you're gonna step that foot through between your hands. You might have to pick it up and move it. Totally cool. You're gonna land on your left knee, and then maybe you're gonna wanna have blocks here. So we're just gonna get into the hamstring and the hip flexor a little bit. So if you're a little more open, you can slide that left knee back a little further. Otherwise, you're in pretty tight. So as you exhale, release left hip down. And then inhale, start to straighten your right leg. Hips come back over that left knee. You can keep a bend in that right knee. Good, exhale, release down. You can also pad up the left knee if you need to. Inhale, pull back into your half splits. Good, as you exhale, get into the hip flexor stretch. Inhale, pull back, half splits. Good, so let's just hold here. So exhaling, releasing this left hip down. Using blocks, using props, especially if you're a little tighter. So little sensation is good, but we don't want to be suffering here. So there are tricks to bring the floor closer to you. All right, as we inhale, we're going to pull back into our half splits again. Maybe you take the blocks back with you. You can be pretty high. For those of us that are a little more flexible here, really start to flex those right toes up. And then maybe you walk your hands forward. Keep that sense of lengthening through the sides of your waist, that openness across your heart and chest. Nice work. And then breathe into the belly of that hamstring, really, really big muscle in the back of the leg. Good, so let's exhale, shift forward here. You're gonna plant your palms. You're gonna curl your left toes under, take a nice deep inhale. And then we're gonna exhale, step our left foot to meet our right foot at the top of the mat. Inhale, chest lengthens. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, press into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhaling, reaching. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Right foot's gonna stay forward. Step that left foot way back. Land on your knee. Good, this time we inhale, rise up, full low crescent pose. And if you feel unsteady here, you just walk that right foot off to the right, direct your tailbone down, feel your sternum stretch up towards the ceiling. Maybe bring your gaze up. A couple of us might even press palms together. As you exhale, hands plant, curl left toes under. You're gonna step your right foot to meet your left foot in your downward facing dog. And then nice and slow, lead with your right hand. Start to walk your hands back to meet your feet. As you inhale, chest extends forward. As you exhale, you fold in. Inhale, press into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Good, inhaling, reaching. As you exhale, you hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Feel that weight in your heels. Lead with your left hand. Start to walk out to your downward facing dog. Nice work. Good. Inhale, lift your left leg. Hips stay even. As you exhale, step that foot through. Maybe pick it up and move it. Pat up that right knee if you need to as you lower it down onto your mat. All right, and then just a little movement here. So as you exhale, really melt this right hip down. Inhale, pull back into your half splits so that left leg comes towards straight. Nice work. As you exhale, you rock forward, getting into the front of that right leg, that hip flexor. Inhale, pull back, Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Exhale, melt in, just kind of warming this all up before we come into the hold. Inhale, pull on back. Good, and then exhale. We hang out here for a few breaths. Change the props if you need to. Grab pop props if you need them. Maybe observing if this side feels different at all in your body compared to the other side. Good, and then as we inhale, we start to pull back here. So you can take the blocks back with you. You could be pretty upright here, especially for those of us that have really tight hamstrings. If you're a little more flexible, you're walking the hands forward, but you're keeping that lengthening through the sides of the waist. You're thinking a little back bend in the upper body as you do that. Good, these look really good. So start to bend that left knee. Plant your palms. Curl your right toes under, and you're gonna look forward. So we're gonna step our right foot to meet our left foot at the top of the mat as you exhale. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, press into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhaling, reaching. Feeling all of the space you've created in your body so far. As you exhale, you hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, lengthen. Good, left foot stays forward, step your right foot way back. Land on that knee. As you inhale, rise up. Low crescent pose. Couple of breaths here, let it feel good. Arms can be as wide as you need to. If you're a little more flexible in the shoulders, maybe they come a little closer. Maybe you start to gaze up. Press palms together. As you exhale, hands plant on either side of that left foot. Curl those right toes under, step back, downward facing dog. And then again, just lead with your left hand. Start to walk back to meet your feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Good, pressing into your feet, stretching arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. All right, so so from the back of your mat, you can do this. You're just gonna inhale, stretch your arms out nice and wide. We're gonna give ourselves a hug. Let's take the right arm on top. So elbow stack here, you can hold the outer edges of your elbows. Start to lift the elbows up. A couple of us might bring the backs of the hands together. You might even bring the palms to press together. So our Garudasana arms, eagle pose arms. As you lift elbows, in whatever variation you're in, you're also feeling your shoulder blades release down. So they're going in opposite directions. You're gonna feel a little stretch across the backs of your shoulders. You might even get this in your neck. Breath smooth and steady. All right, so as you inhale, stretch the arms out. And then as we exhale, we take that again, left arm comes on top this time. So elbow stacking, and then they start to lift up. You're standing nice and tall, so releasing the shoulder blades down towards the tailbone. The tailbone is releasing towards the earth. Breath smooth and steady. That inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. Good. As you inhale, stretch the arms out and then up. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. So keep peeking forward here. Lead with your right hand. Come forward into your downward facing dog. Try to turn this into a little core work. So your belly is pulling in and up. Nice. All right, as we inhale, we're gonna lift our right leg. Hips stay even, outer hip squeeze in. Step that foot through. So let's keep these left toes curled under this time. Have a little bend in that left knee. As you inhale, rise up. Take an exhale here. So sinking in nice and deep in this right leg. As we inhale, we press legs to straight. So right hip draws back, left hip forward. Exhale, bend both knees. Nice. Inhale, nice and slow, like you're moving through quicksand. Start to bring the legs to straight. And then exhale, sink in. Keep this right knee bent. Maybe start to straighten that left leg. Good. And then bring your gaze up. Maybe press palms. As you exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step your left foot to meet your right foot. Inhale, chest lengthens. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, press into your feet, stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhaling, reaching. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward, right foot stays forward, step that left foot way back. Make sure you're not on a tightrope, feet hips distance apart. All right, so as we inhale, come up into your full crescent pose. You can have a little bend in that back knee. As you exhale, take your arms out wide. We're gonna give ourselves a hug. We're gonna take the right arm underneath. So elbow stacking again, can do any variation here. And we're gonna just floss out the shoulders a little bit. So for wherever you're at, as you inhale, lift elbows up. Exhale, they release down. Keep the arms really squeezing in towards each other. Inhale, lift. Exhale, elbows pull towards belly button. Good, inhale, lift up. Exhale, they release down. Good, and then inhale, circle arms out and up. Gaze up, press palms. As you exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step back to your downward dog. Lead with your right hand. Start to walk back to your Uttanasana. So deep forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Pressing into your feet, stretching arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhaling, reaching. Good, as we exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward, weight is in your heels. Lead with your left hand. Nice and slow. Walk forward into your downward facing dog. And then as you inhale, lift that left leg out or hip squeeze in. Use your belly here. Exhale, step left foot through. Make sure that your feet are hips distance apart. Find a nice generous bend in that right knee. Good, inhale, rise up. Crescent pose. Good, take an exhale here. And then as you inhale, firm the muscles in your legs, bring them to straight. Exhale, nice and slow, sink in deep, bending both knees. Inhale, press legs to straight, left hip back, right hip forward. Good, exhale, sink in, one more. Inhale, press legs to straight. Good, notice that the shoulders are creeping up around your ears, soften them down. Exhale, Sink in. All right, so keep this left knee bent. As you inhale, bring that right leg towards straight, any amount, you decide. And then feel your heart lift on your next inhale, maybe gaze up, maybe press palms. As you exhale, hands come to the mat. Step your right foot to meet your left foot at the top of the mat. Inhale, chest lengthens. Exhale, fold in. Pressing into your feet, stretching arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Just feeling this kind of slow little burn today. As you inhale, arms reach up. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Good. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward, left foot stays forward, step that right foot back. You can have a little bend in the knee. Make sure feet are hips distance apart. Inhale, rise up. Good. Exhale, take your arms out wide. Give yourself a little hug, left arm underneath. All right, so elbows stack. Any variation that feels good in your body. Good. As you inhale, start to lift the elbows up. Try not to overarch in your back. As you exhale, press the elbows down. Inhale, start to lift. Just really getting deep into the back of the shoulders, the scapula. As you exhale, elbows press down. Good. Inhale, elbows lift. As we exhale, they release down. Good. And then inhale, elbows lift. Go ahead and release. Stretch arms out and up. Gaze up. As you exhale, hands come to the mat. Step your left foot to meet your right foot. Lead with your left hand as you walk back in to your Uttanasana. As you inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Notice how the backs of your legs are feeling a lot more open. As you exhale, fold in. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Inhale. Press into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Close your eyes here. Take a couple of breaths. Really consciously try to slow everything down. The heartbeat, the breath. Just checking in, noticing how you're feeling. All right, so we're going to blink our eyes open and we're going to come into our full Garudasana, our eagle pose, which we're really ready for. If you have a block, you might want to use that as a little prop for your foot. So block will go off to the left side for this first one. And if you don't have one, that's fine too. Lots of different variations in this. So finding a nice Tadasana, feeling the arches in your feet lift, feeling the outer hip squeeze in, lower belly pulls it up, all of this length through the sides of the waist. We want to hold on to this as we start to add on. So let's step our right foot off to the side. As you do that, notice if this left hip wants to pop out, squeeze it in. All right, and then let's actually take our arms out wide as a nice little counterbalance here, good. And then we're gonna wrap this right thigh over our left thigh. So this might be where you rest your toes on your block. You might not do that. You just might keep this wrap by really squeezing the outer hips, the inner thighs in. Few of us, this is kind of just like a genetic thing, I think. So Dad and Neil should definitely be doing this, wrapping your foot around your ankle. No, maybe not. It's probably a flexibility thing. Okay, so all good places to be. Trying to keep hips facing forward. So you could even just bring your hands down, kind of notice that. So what's going to happen here is this right hip is going to want to direct forward. Kind of just square off there. Good. All right. So right leg is on top. That means we take right arm underneath. Give yourself that hug. Good. And then start to bend that left knee a little more. So sinking in as deep as feels good for you. Huge balance pose. Notice all of the back and forth that standing foot is doing. Especially if you've got anything going on in your ankles, having that right foot on the block is going to take a little of that pressure out of that standing leg. All right. So any variation with the hands. Few of us might choose to hinge forward at the waist, start to fold in. You could even hook your elbows against your knees. Keep your gaze soft and gentle out in front of you. Ooh, nice work, Erin. If you fall out, it's no big deal. Baby eagles are notoriously bad flyers. They fall out of the nest often before they get it. It's just how it is. This is a true story. I'm actually not making this up, believe it or not. As you inhale, start to come on up, fly it all away. So stretch the arms out, lift that right leg up. Yeah, and then I love what Erin is doing, like the little like dance out, because there's a lot happening. So just shake the legs, move a little bit. And we're gonna take this to the other side. So you might move that block to the left side, find your nice Tadasana. So a lot of times the second side is easier just because we know where we're going. Sometimes it's not because it's just harder on this side, but see what happens for you. All right, so we're gonna step left foot off to the side, keep squeezing this right hip in. All right, take your arms out as a little counterbalance if that was helpful. Nice deep inhale. As we exhale, we wrap that left leg around, we bend the right knee. I didn't say bend the knee on the other side. I think you all know that though. So outer hip squeeze, foot could be resting on the block. Few of us might tuck that left ankle behind that right calf. They're all good things. So feel really wide here. It's like you're gonna give Elliot a big bear hug. Deep inhale. And then as we exhale, we take our left arm underneath. So elbows are stacking wherever they're at. They start to lift, but shoulder blades release down towards your sit bones. Can you sink in a little deeper? It's like a one-legged chair pose. And then a few of us start to hinge forward, coming into this little crouching eagle, hidden tiger move. Breath is still happening. You might be holding it. It's not uncommon to hold the breath in these challenging little balance poses. All right, it starts to peel your chest up if you took that variation. Beautiful focus, everyone. Fly it away. Whew. And then, yeah, that outer right hip is screaming. So dance it on out. And then we're gonna come onto our backs. Have a block handy. We're gonna do a little bridge pose. So some back bending, which is gonna feel amazing because we haven't done much of that today. Definitely no balance or ballet back bends. And I have to make a true confession. It's because about 10 minutes into class, the coffee has hit and I have to pee so bad I couldn't come onto my belly. But I think I can do these back bends, bridge pose. We'll see. All right, so arms by your side, ankles underneath your knees, just moving here a few times with the breath. So as you inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips up any amount. We are open on the hip flexors today, so you should feel pretty good. As you exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Make sure you're not rolling to the outer edges of your feet, so press to the inner edge, mound of the big toe, inner thigh, lower down on your exhale, couple more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. This time as we inhale, let's stretch the arms up overhead. Shoulder girdle is pretty nice and open, so this should feel nice. As you exhale, everything lowers down. See if you can get the pinkies and the hips to hit at the same time. Inhale, roll up. Feel that chest melt towards your chin. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Good, so keep your hips lifted this time. As you exhale, release your arms by your side. Good, a couple of options. Grab the outer edges of your mat. Snuggle those shoulder blades underneath you. Maybe you interlace your fingers underneath you. Same concept applies. So we're really trying to press down into those shoulder heads. Get that lengthening, that width across the heart and chest. Few breaths here. As you press to the inner edges of your feet, you're directing your tailbone forward and your inner thighs are starting to spiral down towards the mat. Such a beautiful pose to really feel the inhale, I think, and how three-dimensional it is. So really breathe into the front of the body, the sides of the body, the backs of the body on that inhale. And then as you exhale, just notice how everything contracts in. Good. And then on your next exhale, you're gonna go ahead and lower down. And we're gonna come into a supported bridge pose here. So if you have a block, that's great to slide underneath your sacrum. If not, you could use a blanket, a firm cushion from the pillow. You could roll up your mat. So lots of different options. So same setup. As you inhale, you just press into your feet. Lift the hips up and then slide whatever you're using underneath your sacrum. So the sacrum is this triangle at the bottom of the tailbone. What often happens in this pose is that we get the prop in the lumbar, which is higher than that area. And it's going to feel really uncomfortable. So you should feel really supported and good here, and pretty balanced on the prop that you're using. If your eyes aren't closed here, go ahead and close them. And I want you to start to shift towards more of a Shavasana state of mind. So you start to lengthen out the breath. You can still hold on to your Ujjayi if you want to. Maybe you're just inhaling and exhaling through your nose without that effort, but lengthening everything out. And though this is a supported bridge pose, we still want to make sure that we're not rolling to the outer edges of our feet, that the knees aren't turning out. We still want this sensation of openness across the heart and chest. You might stay here like this. We have stretched out the hip flexors a good amount today. If you would like to start to extend your feet to straight, so pressing them forward, pressing forward through the heels, you can do that. As you go there, if it feels too intense, either in the lumbar or the top of the leg, just bend the knees again. And just be here a few breaths. It's a nice stretch sometimes. If your legs are extended, go ahead and walk them back in. So coming into that supported bridge pose. And then again, welcome to stay here. If you would like to come into your supported shoulder stand, keep your sacrum pressing down on that block, that prop, whatever you're using. Bend your right knee in, then your left knee. Extend legs up towards the ceiling. So ankles are landing over your hips. There can be a little bend in your knees. Again, eyes closed, you're just kind of gazing at the ceiling or at your toes. And then you do feel some weight in your shoulders. You feel that stretch, that openness across your heart and chest. Good, nice deep inhale. As you exhale, if you are in your shoulder stand, just release your feet down. Good, press into your feet, lift your hips up off your support, move it out of the way, and then lower down here. So just walk your feet so they are as wide as your mat. Knees are bent. Take your arms out in a T shape, so palms face up. And then nice and slow as you exhale, let knees fall off to the right. Inhale up to center. And then exhale, they fall off to the left. So just windshield wipering the legs out here. Do that a few times to each side. Good, and then the next time your knees are off to the right, you're just gonna leave them there. We're gonna hang out here for a few breaths. Should you want to intensify this at all, you can take your left knee, we're off to the right. So right ankle above your left knee. What's my left and what's my right? If that feels too intense, you just skip it. You could also just come into classic twist here if that feels better for you. So knees stacking on top of each other. Maybe you roll onto your left cheek. Maybe you just keep pressing into the center of the back of your head. All right, so wherever you're at, you come up to center. Obviously uncrossing your ankle if you took that variation, and the knees fall off to the left. Maybe taking left ankle above right knee. That feels okay. It's going to intensify the stretch that you're feeling in the lower right back area. Again, you can just be in a classic twist to your knees, stacking on top of each other. You're either looking straight up, rolling onto that right cheek. You're looking out over the fingertips. Good, uncross that left ankle if you're in that variation. Knees come up to center, and then you give them a nice little squeeze into your chest. Maybe you want to come into a quick little happy baby, grabbing the outer edges of the feet or the thighs, gently pressing down, directing the tailbone forward so you're losing a little of that curve in your lower back. And then we make our way into our Shavasana. So it can be classic, legs extended. For a lot of us, that puts a little pressure on the lumbar, the lower back. So little blankets, pillow, cushion blocks underneath the knees will be helpful. You can also have the knees bent, feet wide, and just allow the knees to knock in towards each other. One deep inhale here together. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Melt in here, get still, get quiet, give yourself permission to soak up these final moments. Take a deeper inhale. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Good, and then you're gonna wiggle fingers and toes, circle wrists, ankles. So just bringing some gentle movement back to your body. Bringing your awareness back to your body. And then staying soft and quiet, you're gonna roll to one side or the other. Just find the fetal position for a moment. Use your hands to help you press up to a comfortable seat. So ending class as we started in this seated Sukhasana posture. Hopefully it's feeling a little different though, a little easier, a little more spacious. Observe how your breath has shifted, so it's definitely deeper, richer, steadier. And finally, just notice how your headspace has shifted. That might be one of the best things about our yoga practice. So this sense of calm and focus and quiet that we get, maybe even a little sense of joy. Send yourself love and gratitude for making that happen, for showing up and working hard. And just promise yourself that you're gonna carry this feeling into the rest of the weekend ahead. Bring your palms together at your heart. Bow your head with a smile. Terrific work today, everybody. Thank you.